Welcome to SoCal Training Team. This training is on reduce law enforcement contact to residential facilities. This training was designed to assist staff and administrators and supervisors to develop policies and procedures that they'll follow prior to getting law enforcement involved. A little history. Most residential facilities are designed to deal with some type of behavior. We understand this when we intake clients in our facility, and we know that there are some behaviors that will be exhibited that we have to deal with as staff. And that's where training comes in. We don't necessarily need to always call law enforcement to assist us with a client that we took in our program that exhibits negative behavior. Of course, there are instances where you have no choice as a staff but to call law enforcement. But there only should be really two reasons why you're calling law enforcement to assist you. One, the client is a danger to themselves, and two, the client is danger to others. But we may need to define those two instances where a staff will call law enforcement to assist so that you have a clearer understanding of when to call them. A danger to self or others means a person who is attempting to commit suicide or inflict serious bodily harm to him or herself or others by violent or other actively destructive means, as evidenced by causing, attempting to cause, or with the potential to cause serious bodily harm to him or herself or others. As a residential facility, there has to be some type of policy and procedures in place for the staff to follow. If the staff don't have any guidelines to follow, then guess what? They'll always call law enforcement when they feel or think they need to call law enforcement. So as a facility, you need to ensure that you're creating some type of policy and your staff need to know about this policy. Staff training. I can't preach this enough. Staff training is vital to the success of a residential facility. When you create that policy on when law enforcement will be utilized at your facility, you need to ensure that your staff receive training on that policy and also understand that policy so we can reduce the cost of law enforcement to your facility. Once you have a policy in place, you want to start tracking calls and you want to start documenting the reason why. What this does is this helps your agency determine a pattern, if at all there are any patterns and the reasons why the law enforcement calls are occurring. This can help you guys as a team discuss them in a group meeting so you guys are able to possibly eliminate or minimize the calls to your facility. Reviewing incident reports. Every time law enforcement is called to your facility, there should be documentation of a special incident report. So this gives us also a good gauge on why we're calling law enforcement, what was done to determine if law enforcement was involved. It also gives us a springboard to train staff on. I know this is a tough one, but staff on duty. We need to evaluate the staff on duty to determine if they're the reason why law enforcement are responding to the facility so much. This is a very touchy subject, but this is something that definitely has to get done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a simple plan. I'm going to take 4 simple items to build out a plan. You guys can make it more extensive, but what I want to do is get you guys off to a good start in creating a foundation for your plan. The first part of your plan should be creating a schedule. You have to have a daily schedule. It determines what your clients are going to do from hour to hour. This often can reduce any type of behavior problems that will lead to staff calling law enforcement. Next up is supervision. We need to ensure that clients are supervised at all times. A lot of times when behaviors or any type of issues start to arise, it's due to lack of supervision. Proactive behavior intervention. This is a lost art in our field. Now with everyone coming to work with their cell phone, sitting on their sofa, surfing the internet, sending texts, making phone calls. We have lost the art of proactive behavior intervention. Proactive behavior intervention is basically just sitting back, analyzing the situation, the clients, and determining if there are any risks or steps that need to be taken to minimize any behaviors. And finally, know your clients. Getting to know your clients, not on a personal, but on a professional level, reading through their file, just finding out a little bit more history about them, their triggers, what they like, what they dislike, goes a long way in order for you to prevent law enforcement calls from coming to your facility as well. The moral of the story is a lot of these calls to law enforcement can be prevented. We'd like to thank you for watching another one of our videos. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with friends and family. You can visit us on the web at SoCalTrainingTeam.com. Thanks.